really, Doc, we have to celebrate Ghanaians. We have to celebrate organized labor. And you see, it's a very eloquent reminder to all politicians across the political divide that you dare not take the people for granted. If you fail to listen to the people, they will rise up. And when they rise up, you cannot stop them. I mean, look at the impunity with which the employment minister went to Parliament and said, oh, look, MPRA has said they should go ahead. We are going ahead. We are going to sell. Less than 2 weeks. Now the MPRA has joined the infamous conspiracy. I have filed an RTI request to them. We demand a publication of that review they did under 2 weeks, which is superior to the transaction advisors report. Let me also announce this morning, Doc, that our team, and you know we put together a team of lawyers led by your good friend, Professor Kweku Azar, what we are calling the Public Asset Protection Bill. I can announce this morning that it's done. Next week we will publish the private members' bill. And it's a very interesting piece of legislative draft. Very, very interesting. And we're calling it the Public Asset Protection Bill 2024. And we are saying that all of these public officials must be prohibited from purchasing state assets. They include elected officials, whether you are MPs, assembly members, or elected representatives, senior government officials, ministers, deputy ministers, heads of government department agencies, judiciary members, judges and other judicial officers. They cannot purchase state assets. High-ranking military officials, state officers in the armed forces, state-owned enterprise executives, regulatory and supervisory authorities, officials in regulatory bodies that oversee public procurement and asset management, the immediate family members, so the politically exposed persons, immediate family members, spouses, children, parents, siblings. Then entities with controlling interests, companies, organizations, where these public officers hold significant ownership or control. This bill is also going to mandate the establishment of a state assets database. Are you aware, Doc, that if you demand to know how many state bungalows we have in Ghana, they can't give you the number? Yet when it's time to sell them, they know where they are. But they can't tell us. We've been asking in Parliament for years. They can't tell us. Lands, how many is left? State lands, they can't tell us. We have been asking the lands minister for years. Tell us, we want a full publication of lands that have been sold since 1992. State lands and those who bought them. We have been demanding. I filed an urgent question. Honorable Agboja filed an urgent question. We want to know since 1992. State lands, who bought them? How much did they buy them? How transparent was the process? The last time we reminded him, he said, oh, let's be careful. The political class may, come under attack. And so what?
That's what the minister
said.
Yeah,
that's what he was telling us in Parliament. The records will reflect that. Yeah. I mean, trying to virtually, blackmail us. We won't accept that blackmail. It has to be published. Look, this country, we must know all of our state assets so that as citizens, collectively, we can protect those state assets. So if you know of Parks and Gardens land in Wa, you know that this is it, this is the demarcation. This is exactly where it is. Then you can help us protect it. I think that, look, after many, many years of being on this crusade, this is long overdue. So we are calling it the Registry of Assets. And it will be a mandate of SIGA, the State Interest and Governance Authority. It will be a mandate to coordinate with all state institutions, to compile and publish all state assets so that there will be transparency. You can go on a website and you can know the state assets that we have. The state capture, the looting, has gone on for far too long. It has to stop. So next week we will publish this. And what I like about this is that if you think that you have bought state assets, no matter which period, under this fourth republic, and you are going to get away with it. We are saying you have to divest your interest. It's all here. So very interesting piece of legislation.
So you expect it to take retrospective effect?
Yes, we have contemplated that. Yeah.
But it's interesting,
You know, so if I can,
yeah, sure.
yes, you know the format of the program. So we'll publish this. We'll have a stakeholder consultation. We want to solicit as much input as possible. Look, those who thought that this whole battle against state capture is just partisan or targeted at one person, it's not. And all of us want to be measured by the same standards. And this will affect NDC politicians too. Some people out there have been trying to personalize this. That it's about one person. It's never been. Look, there are many instances I've talked about state capture. I've gone to court. It's never been about one person. There's so many people who have had questions to answer about state capture, which has reached levels that are just nauseating. And we all see it. So this is to really silence those critics who think that we are just looking for short-term gains, short-term, cheap political gains, where when we come to power, we will do worse. That's not what this is about. And I have said that the things that are going on, we are not going to allow it to continue, even if it is our own party that is in power and engaging in conduct like that. I mean, can you imagine an NDC government, and then we say that, oh, now we can sell those hotels, those same hotels we oppose. Now we can sell them to ourselves. How will we look? Where will be our credibility? You think some of us will be part of such a government? That's why I want to commend the former President Mahama this morning, who stated at his media press the last time very emphatically that no member of his government will be allowed to purchase state assets. So already I can see that somebody like President Mahama, when he is sworn in, inshallah, 7 January 2025, if by that time this bill has not been assented to by President Akufo-Addo, I have no doubt that President Mahama, with his public statements on this matter, will have no difficulty at all assenting to this. What I also like about this bill is that even years after leaving office, for now we are considering 5 years. The 5 years after leaving office, as happens in other jurisdictions, you cannot participate in such transactions. You can't buy estate assets. You know, at least 5 years. So there's a moratorium. So you don't set your eyes on something when you are in power, and then in a few weeks or few months when you leave, you go and grab it. It's not going to happen. So it's a far-reaching. We've looked at best practice, the US, UK, France, Kenya, you know, and we have made ours even stronger and consolidated all these laws that you find in bits and pieces in other jurisdictions. So I want to salute the team led by Professor Kweku Azar. This should give assurance. A lot of the labor leaders have been calling me that, hey, Honorable, we've worked together, we've been allies in this. Are you sure that this is not just partisan? Are you sure that you are not going to embarrass all of us when you come to power and we have to, again declare strike against you? I said, no, this has been, we've been consistent on this and we are determined. We're going to have a law this time. So this is particular to all the labor leaders who have been concerned that, look, we don't want to follow you and you go and disgrace us. Is there real commitment? This is your answer. We are really, really committed. We are going to drive this new private members bill and make sure it becomes law. And that should tell you how committed we are. So a big thank you to the people of Ghana, Metro TV, and all of you.